loved.org.
Good morning.
Good morning, Harry Droz. Happy Thursday.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little sleepy this morning, but I'm good. It's a little, it's cool. It feels cool in the house, but I think it's gonna be warm outside. So
Yeah, it's gonna be in the 70s again today. By the way, you're listening to LoveBabz Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. And I'm tired too. Gotta drive in to that traffic. Gas is twice the price it was.
oh Lord, we're not gonna start the day like that, Harry.
Gonna start complaining.
Yeah, don't start complaining. Count your blessings. You have a car to get into to drive to work, to a job.
I might have to just park the car and just no, I was gonna say Uber, but not Uber. Waze has a carpool.
Really?
A carpool.
Harry, first of all, you're not getting in the car with strangers. That's number one.
I might have to. The prices of gas, either that or super glue some.
You know what? You know what you do? Stop buying all that paper towel. You have money for some gas.
super glue some solar panels on my hood, and then just connect it to the engine.
You know how you can cut that? You know how you can save some money on gas? Stop going to Dunkin' Donuts and make your daggone coffee at home.
Oh my God, everything has gone up. You know how much it costs today? It's crazy.
How much is it?
I had breakfast wrap and coffee. It was $6 something for just like $7 for that. You're right. I gotta just.
Harry, I thought we were getting back on the plan.
Jesus.
I saw some old pictures of us when we were in studio. You had thinned down a great deal.
I know.
Me too. I put some weight on. It's all right.
But
It's all right.
it's rough. It's rough.
It is rough.
It's rough out there for a pimp. It's hard out there. I'm just trying to pay some money for the rent, Make some money for the rent.
And by rent, he means mortgage on the condo.
That's right. I'm trying to pay my condo fees.
We got guests at 10:15. I'm looking forward to talking to these sisters. I sent you their pictures and some background. Kalia Brooks, Next Haven Director of Programs and Exhibitions, and Victoria McCraven, Next Haven Programs Manager. So they're going to come and talk about the exhibit that's coming up, Between Reveries, and you know what that is. They're not going to stay. They got like a tight 30 minutes, Harry. So just FYI, they'll be on at 10:15. They were going to come on 10 minutes before 10:15. I was like, you don't need to hang out for 10 minutes. That'll drive you crazy. Come on 2 minutes before you're supposed to come on. Don't worry about it. Anyway, you just try to get people prepared for radio. They think it's like eons and eons. Like, no, don't do that. Today my mother would be 81 years old. if she were alive. Now I got another record to hit. I'd like to live 23 more years long so I could get to 81. I don't know why that matters.
81. It really
doesn't. My mother would be 81 today. Today's her birthday. So she would be 81.
She's 81. I think my mother's 77.
And Ife's mother passed today. A few years ago. A couple of years ago. I don't even think it's been, I think it might have been 2 or 3 years now. Maybe 2 years. So her mother passed on my mother's birthday. So we have that in common. Not to mention that we wear the same colors all the time. Like we'll meet up somewhere, Harry, me and Ife, and we're having the same colors. We do that all the time. I think that's the Virgo influence in me.
Yeah, I get the same feel when I bump into the Men in Black.
For heaven's sake. Hey, did you see on the Independent that crazy carjacking?
The carjacking, yeah.
Like that guy was on PCP. Harry, I don't want to be on anything that makes me wild out like that.
Well, you know, it's you need to take stuff to drive these days.
But PCP, Harry, I don't.
He was just trying to tone it down.
He carjacked somebody, get on the highway, crashes it into the truck, hijacks the truck, gets in the truck. Harry, how do you climb up there, fight with the guy in the truck and push him out and take the... This is an 18-wheeler, Harry. It's not like a minivan. And then hold up all the traffic. I'm thinking to myself, where does he think he's going to go with an 18-wheeler? Like,
yeah. You know, I figured every truck driver carried a shotgun, but you can't because of state lines. You can't just...
Yeah, you can't.
You can't just drive around with a weapon. You cross New York lines in automatic 3 years.
But I'm just baffled by... He just got in the truck, Harry.
Yeah.
Like, you know how high those trucks are? You know how long it would take me to climb into an 18-wheeler? I'd have to get boosted up.
You remember, he's on PCP, so he was flying already. He was levitating already, so he was like...
And he got tased, Harry. And then some off-duty retired state trooper cat rolled up on him and tased him. And it didn't do anything.
Because, you know, PCP is like you're riding the Matrix, right? The Matrix. You're just... Everything slows down. You're like, taser? There is no taser. You know? There is no spoon.
Harry, I don't want to be in that alternate reality. I bet you he waking up today in the jail cell like, damn, what the hell did I do? That was some night.
He was waiting for Morpheus to come save him.
I guess. But now, and he was like, he was already in trouble. Now he's gonna be in like, bro, are you trying to go to jail for 20 years? Are you gonna be in there forever? They never gonna let you out. Just on stupidity.
Well, you know, they'll blame it on drugs and he might get a program.
Yes. Also up on the New Haven Independent site, you know, the NAACP every year does the 100 most influential Black people in Connecticut. And we've got a bunch of folks from New Haven on that list. Barbara Fair, civil rights activist, who she texted me this morning and she's like, I appreciated your comment on that, because I posted a comment. Because, you know, people go over to Independent and just get stupid. They just say the most ridiculous things with no basis in nothing. I just understand. I think people just want to see their words in print. Barbara Fair, civil rights activist. Carlton Highsmith, the CONCAT board member. I think he's a founder too. David Adams, from the William Graustein Memorial Fund. My soror, Deborah McCauley, Associate Deputy Director. Donald McCauley, my sorority sister's husband, and he's a member of Phi Beta Sigma. Eileen Tracy, Karen Du Bois Walton, my soror. Dr. Keith B. Churchwell, the Yale Hospital president. Kalila Brown, Dean, she's over at Quinnipiac and NPR's Disrupted. My other friend, Dr. Marcela Nunez Smith, White House Task Force Health Equity member. Ernest Pagan, business rep, North Atlantic States Council of Carpenters Union. Eric Clemens, another friend of mine, Concord. Gary Winfield, my neighbor. Probate George Clifton Graves, my friend. Fleming Norcott. I know his wife more than I know him. He's the chair, and he's a retired state Supreme Court justice. Howard K. Hill. Howard K. Hill's getting a lot of awards. He's getting one today from the Chamber of Commerce. I can't make that, Howard. The New Haven Fire Chief, John Austin, who is my friend and fellow photographer. My former neighbor, civil rights activist, attorney, Mike Jefferson. Mike Taylor, who we serve on the Long Wharf Theater Board together. He's the Cornell Scott Hill Health Center CEO. My neighbor and good girlfriend, Robin Porter. Yale Chief Ronell Higgins. Sinead Drawn, who is a friend of mine, Senior Vice President of Housing Authority. And my former neighbor and friend, Tony Walker. And Taisha Walker from the New Haven Board of Alders, president. So I went over there, Harry, the first thing when it posted, I was like, we are a city of great talent and abundant intellectual capital. Friends, sorors, neighbors, fellow board members, they make me hella hopeful about New Haven's future. Each very deserving of this honor and acknowledgement. Tireless believers in a better New Haven, a better Connecticut, and a better America. So that's what I wrote, Harry. Because, I'm staying, me, Harry, I stay on the positive tip. But then clown Thomas Alfred Payne, he's a clown. These people are silly. I do not know the criteria for the NAACP selection. See, that sounds about white to me. Why do you think you need to know the criteria if you ain't a member of the NAACP? But okay. But as far as most of New Haven, 25, one would think that most New Haveners, including most Black New Haveners, would be familiar with most people on this list. Okay, you just talking. So what? I find it quite peculiar that not one minister is on this list. Why is it peculiar? There was ministers on the list last year and the year before and the year before. It's not New Haven's list. It's Connecticut's list. Get out of here. Many on the list are politicians or politically connected folks. Do you know what the NAACP is? The National Advancement of Colored People. There's a lot of lawyers in that thing. People are stupid. And a lot of Black politicians are quite influential in Connecticut. Hence the list, dummy. Some are honored all the time, while many unsung heroes go unsung year after year. Then why don't you say who they are? What unsung hero? Who? Who is unsung? Give me some names. Harry, this is what I love about this platform, because I could just talk all the ish I want. There's no representative of the arts community, while 2 Black men run a relatively nationally recognized artist training program in the Dixwell community go unrecognized. Who is he talking about? Say who they are. I think I know who he's talking about, but he sounds about white to me. Black influence is more diverse than this. How do you know? It is. But this is not about that. They have a criteria. You know what? Join the NAACP so you can have a vote and a voice. And the work of rising younger people need greater recognition instead of honoring some of the same old people. Okay, that's your opinion. But why don't you start an organization? Why don't you start the Thomas Alfred Payne 100 Black Influentials? Start that. And I had to say something. Thomas Alfred Payne, clearly you haven't paid attention to subsequent years. This is an annual recognition. Did you see last year's list or the year before? If your concerns is genuine about who is honored, then join the NAACP. By joining, you can have a say and a voice and a vote. It's not a New Haven award. It's a Connecticut-wide award. Gosh, a little Googling would have saved you time and energy. My mama used to say, if you don't know a thing, don't speak to confirm your ignorance. Always ask questions. Questions speak to an interest in intelligence. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Harry. You know, ask the question. Go do a little work. You know, these people get on my nerves. And then 1644, baby. I don't know who, I don't know if he means Babz, but he put baby. I'm glad to see Dr. Churchwell honored. If Onye Ogabuga Ubuaga has not been so honored in the past, he would be in the future. Okay, whatever. Yeah. But you know what? I love the Independent because people weigh in, Harry. They weigh in without much information.
That's the fun of it, right?
Yes.
You go on a site or
Black's Poetic.
Or on Twitter and you state the stupidest things you could come up with. So
You can.
I love it though. It's like it blows my mind.
I haven't commented in a long time. I just wanted to comment today because I had time. Plus, I know those people and I know the good work they do. And
all I got to say is that's a lot of people.
A lot of people. And a lot of them in New Haven. A lot of movers and shakers in New Haven.
Yep.
Which is really good. I want to see people get accolades. Like, come on.
Yeah, you should. Good. You put the work in, you should.
Yeah, these people are honest to God community people. They care. They care. You know, they're always in the trenches. But
if he wants to, bring, some notoriety or recognition to somebody else, he could just state the names there and
say, yeah.
Or
write to Scott Esdale and say, listen, could you consider these people next year and put a check with it?
Yeah. That's probably just somebody who doesn't know much about what's happening or just knows the people in his orbit, right? So you think to yourself, man, I know some people who would be great for this list, but nobody recommends them, nobody refers them, nobody this, because they're in your orbit, right? But there's people doing a lot of stuff, especially in New Haven. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's activists on every corner.
Yeah, definitely.
Harry, there's activists on every corner. You could throw a rock and hit 20 activists. I'm not kidding. You can hit activists on every corner in this town.
That's
activists and a minister.
That's why I love the great gift that we do.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. There's just so many people doing so many things. And you have no clue what people are actually investing into society, into helping people. And there's a lot of people who get overlooked. That's life, right? Unfortunately, that's life.
Yeah, and I think you make a good point. If you in your orbit, step out of your orbit and put some names forward.
Yeah.
Don't complain. People don't run in the circle. Sometimes people don't run in your circle, so they don't know. So, but anyway, that's all right. But they're having a whole shindig up at Mohegan Sun for the influencer 100. So that should be really nice.
Michael Twitty says ballers, and you know them all.
I've run across them a time or two. No, I actually hang with all these people. I know them, right? Like if they saw me on the street, they would be like, "Hi, Babz." I'd be like, "Hi, Mike Jefferson."
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of those people pass. A lot of those people pass through the studio. So
yeah,
Of course we
I
know
think
them.
it's about everybody, right? So yeah, we know them. That's what I like about it. I like to see
I'm
where
not
I know
sure
people.
if Michael Twitty's nominating somebody. Are you nominating somebody, Michael? Because
Who was he nominating?
he said Yale Center for British Arts new director Courtney J. Martin. Born and raised in Nashville, Courtney earned her undergraduate degree at Oberlin College. But I think he's giving names. Lisa Dent.
Oh,
Okay, see that's good. But go and nominate
yeah.
them. That's good.
To the
But-
NAACP. Put them down at the NAACP site.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You know. And speaking of Lisa Dent, she's on tomorrow, Harry, with the let me tell you, I had no idea there was an ambassador to skateboarding. But the ambassador to skateboarding is in town for open studios. And so I'm going to have them on tomorrow, Harry. I think the ambassador of skateboarding is also a Yale Schwartzman Center Fellow in Race, Culture, and Community. Dr. Williams is in town. His name is Neftali Williams. He's in town today and tomorrow. And so they're going to be on tomorrow. The first U.S. sports envoy for skateboarding, because, you know, it's a Olympic sport now. So he is using the cultural lens of skateboarding and action sports for investigating issues of race, diversity, identity, and youth empowerment. He believes that they also provide a way to broker new conversations that break down cultural barriers and provide opportunities for learning and mentorship among people from all walks of life. So he's coming out tomorrow to talk about, I guess, how skateboarding can be a part of our cultural landscape. You know, because Jason's son, the young Mr. Joseph, and Steven the chef, I think that's his name. You know, they lobbied, raised money to put the skate park over there. And I guess part of the open studios, Harry, is a skateboard exhibit that's happening somewhere off of George Street that they're building. I seen it on the New Haven Independent. So it's all tied in. So anyway, so Lisa Dent is the executive director of Art Space. Open Studios opens, I guess, this weekend all over the place. So they're coming on to talk about that and this particular skateboarding thing. So it's fascinating to me. So I can't wait to hear this. Who knew skateboarding was all that?
Yeah,
I used to have a yellow skateboard when I was a teenager.
Yeah, we had a little skateboarding area where I grew up also. It was unusual. There was only just a couple of kids who skateboarded. I mean, in my neighborhood, it was more, I was going to say sports. I guess, is skateboarding a sport?
Yeah, it's a sport. It's an Olympic sport now.
Yeah, you see, so we didn't really see it as a sport. And
that's the problem, because white kids see it as a sport.
Yeah.
Black and brown kids is like, okay.
It was just like a thing to do.
The weird kids are skateboarding.
Right, but because we were all at the basketball courts or stuff like that. So it wasn't, skateboarding was kind of weird. And only a few of us had skateboards.
Yeah.
You know,
So when I drive by over there, by I guess that's Webster, that whole Dixwell area where they have the skate park. I drove by the other day, Harry. I saw so many little black kids skateboarding. And girls. Like, I saw girls. Lots of girls. I was like, I mean, I was a skateboarding girl. But, I mean, these girls were, you know, they were really doing it. I mean, the best I could do, Harry, was jump a curb. That's about as far as I would go. I didn't go down hills or any of that kind of foolishness. If I went down a hill, Harry, it's because I was sitting on the skateboard. Because I had too much fear to, like, ride it down. Or I would squat down.
Yeah.
It's amazing to say that now because I can't do none of that mess.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I remember skateboarding, too. But we were more, you know, roller skates in my neighborhood. You know, everybody had roller skates. Not many people had skateboards. And then there was also a roller skating rink not too far from where we lived. And And I always say, the people in my neighborhood where I grew up, if they would have tapped into that talent, we would have had the best Olympic teams ever formed, because these people were amazing in my neighborhood.
Well, I think that's the point right there, Harry. That when you put these opportunities in places, that you find talent.
Yeah, because there's amazing
gems
talent.
In the rough. Yes.
Yeah, there's amazing talent. I seen people do stuff that you only see in the Olympics, and you be like, wow, I knew this guy who used to do that. Who could jump that far, who could do this, who could run that fast. So yeah, you have to tap into the talent.
Yeah, I'm impressed. So
yeah.
Speaking of impressed, so Norm Pattis takes on the Yale murder case.
Which case is that?
The one where
the Asian guy.
Yeah, killed the other student.
Yeah.
Murdered the 26-year-old grad student, Kevin James.
So he's defending.
He's defending Pond.
Yeah. Okay. It's always interesting to me who the the guy who's they're trying to find now that killed the girl. It's like they're so not guilty that they disappeared. You gotta go find them somewhere, catch them. I don't know.
Listen. Well, Norm believes everybody deserves good representation.
Everybody
believe
does.
that too. I believe that too. I mean, now I read a little bit of the article and something about a black man. I was like, I just want to say, don't be putting black people in this. A black person didn't kill that guy, but okay, don't be trying to use that tool. But all right.
No, but this is America. Everybody deserves to be represented.
I think yes. I think that's part of what makes America America.
Yeah.
Is the right to competent representation. And oftentimes public defenders are overwhelmed and overworked.
Yeah, the amazing thing is when they get such good representation that they get off.
Well,
and you're shocked.
Listen, that's on the state to make their case, Harry.
I know, but it's like,
you gotta make your case. So, I mean, listen, if you strong, then you make it. If you're not, well,
that's the thing. And then it's all, it's us. We're the jury. The people, sit in those boxes and you see the evidence and everything, and a lot of jurors get judged harshly. But you're right, the state has to make its case. And because everybody could know that, yeah, this guy did it. But when that's
not how we do things.
Right, that's not how we do it. When the judge tells you, what you have to do in the case and how you get to the decision, sometimes you just find you can't convict somebody because they didn't meet all the requirements.
Right.
And it's sad.
Painful.
Yeah.
It's painful. That is painful.
Yeah.
But that's our system, and it's unlike any system in the world. So that's what we said we want justice to look like. So you make your case. The state makes its case, and your attorney makes their case, and all they got to do is cast doubt. All you got to do is just cast doubt.
Well, right. Yeah. Unlike
well, maybe he didn't kill him.
The Taliban. Well, you see, that's the thing.
Or maybe we don't know. We don't have all the facts of what really happened.
Right.
Listen, I'm not.
Well, we never do, right? We never have everything.
Yeah.
The authorities usually have everything.
Yeah.
But when you look at cases like the most famous one in recent history, O.J. Simpson, right? When you look at the skill of some of these lawyers, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing. And I was fascinated by the whole case. I thought OJ did it, but I would have let him go too. According to
all you have to do is cast doubt.
Yes. That's all it took. And people were like, oh my God, it's a travesty. No.
Now, I actually believe he did kill them.
Yeah, me too. But
because he beat his first wife. So,
me too, but that's not what you go by, especially when...
Right. That's not what you go by.
Yeah.
You got to be in there. You got to hear all the evidence. And you get your instructions and you're like, oh, okay. Well, based on these instructions and what I heard, I got to go with something else.
Almost towards the end of all the testimony and everything, when what's her name, the lady lawyer who told him to try on the glove, that was like the biggest mistake ever.
Yeah.
She had her case wrapped up and then she says, try on that glove. That's like the stupidest mistake ever, because
I'm like, girl, this is like reverse Cinderella. Don't do it.
Exactly. It's like, there's no way this glove is ever gonna fit me. You tell me to put on the glove? Oh hell no, this glove ain't gonna fit me.
That's why I used it. I didn't plot this out. I was in a fit of rage. I just grabbed some gloves that was on the desk, going out, on the credenza, running out the house. I don't know who gloves these are. I'm gonna use these gloves to kill somebody.
Crazy.
Oh well, such is life.
Yeah.
Oh, and the little guy is still missing. They ain't found him yet.
Yeah, they ain't got him yet.
I tell you what, bring his parents into, hold them custody and see if that don't shake him loose.
I'm telling you.
Arrest his parents and you say, you know what? Your parents will sit in jail until you turn up. Oh, we can't do that though. That's like Russia.
But you think he wouldn't come out for his parents?
No,
he doesn't care what's happening to them now.
He's a miserable raised kid.
So, did you see what's going on in? People are leaving. About 4.3 million people left their jobs last month.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm like, people literally walked off their jobs last month. That's a lot of jobs.
They will regret that.
Oh, I think they have to be regretting it right now, right? But I don't know. It's such. People are making emotional decisions right now. You don't have a lot of mental capacity when your emotions are that high. You're like, oh, you want me to get this shot? I'm walking off the job. Now, I don't know. I don't know how a lot of these people are gonna feed their families, because when you walk off the job, you don't get unemployment.
You don't get unemployment, Harry.
So,
especially if you go in there talking about,
I don't get it.
I quit because I don't want the vaccine, and now that everybody is requiring it or mandating it, like what are you going to do?
Yeah,
what are you going to do when everywhere you apply, they're going to say, are you vaccinated? Can you prove that you're vaccinated?
Yeah, I don't know where we go from here. I think there's a lot of people filing lawsuits. I think they need to be streamlined so that it gets to the Supreme Court, because I don't think a lot of people are going to survive quitting their jobs like this. I don't know how. And not just that. I mean,
like that NBA basketball player who refuses to get vaccinated,
Kyrie Irving, yeah,
and he can't practice, he can't play because they go to places where vaccinations are mandated.
But he's a different.
That's my point, Harry. He's different. He's rich.
Right. He's super rich right now.
Years, because he got money.
Right.
Unless he mismanaged it, but by all accounts, he's rich.
No, he's filthy rich. He's made $20 million a year for over 10 years, like about 10 years.
Yeah. So
he could walk off
and be like on principle, but you everyday Joes.
Right. That's the thing, and I feel bad for them because, but wow, it's so hard out there for people. It's hard to stand on principle when your family doesn't.
Hungry?
Yeah, when they no food on the table. It's hard to be principled. And I get it. I wasn't forced to get the vaccine here. But Paul just knew I was going to get the vaccine too, so it's not like
I'm like, y'all are crazy.
But
right.
It's hard out there. It's hard out there. And then you look at what's happening across the country when it comes to goods, right? There's a shortage in everything. Shortage of workers, shortage of food, shortage of supplies, shortage of every single thing. And the key shortage is truck drivers. Because
for me, Harry, this is a very cautionary tale about what is to come.
Well, it's scary if it's like that, because I think these people are confident that they're going to win. But how long will it take to win this argument based on religious belief or whatever it is people are doing? We're going to go through a seriously rough patch for the next 6 months. And people should prepare for that. Especially if you're one of the people who are going to walk off your job. You better prepare before you walk off that job. Because
and I think they're making irrational decisions and not prepared.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's emotional decisions are the, when you're stuck making decisions when you're upset, those are the worst decisions. Usually you make the bad decision. And
yes.
And I don't want to judge anybody. Do you, but there are consequences sometimes to doing you. So
yes,
that and that's the reality. I get it. I totally get it. I'm a person who doesn't like to be pushed and shoved anywhere. And especially in somebody else's direction.
Yes.
However, you have to stop, breathe, woosah it out, and actually make the decisions that are right for you. Don't look at what's trending on Twitter or stuff like that. People make their decisions according to the wave that's passing through their groups and everything. You got to stop and think. What's good for you? What's good for your family? What's good for the country? If at all possible, if you could think that deep, where you start.
I know, right? I know, Harry. You want people to think outside their house?
I know. If you could, if it's at all possible that you could think that deep, that you start thinking about your neighbors.
Get to the end of your block. If you can just think about things beyond just to the end of your block, you might reconsider all your actions. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Think about it, because we all have people we look up to. And you have to decide whether the people you look up to are good people too. Whether they've made the the right decision for not just themselves, but for the people around them. You have to question everything. I find that the smartest people that I know, they question everything.
Yeah.
They don't just follow. They don't just go with, especially you don't go by your grievances, right? You don't go by your grievances. You have to put everything on a scale. Pros and cons, everything. But, I don't know. That's my 2 cents right now. Get vaccinated, because, we have a PSA that I'm going to skip.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
I think there's a couple of police unions that are about to sue because they don't want the mandate. I'm thinking, if I'm a police officer, Harry, I got to run up on people, find myself in precarious situations. I want whatever necessary to protect myself from whatever's out there. And if a vaccination is going to do that, I want it. I don't want to be out there running up on people, all kinds of people, and not be vaccinated. And you got to be in the car with them and all this other kind of stuff. No.
Well,
so many police officers have died. That's the other part of this, Harry. Across the country, there's somebody's been logging all the police officers that have died, so that they can fight back against these unions, saying, "Look how many of these police officers that died."
Yeah, but the thing is that, and I've heard their argument, right? I actually watched 2 nurses on YouTube making their case for not getting the vaccine. And this is what I mean about critical thinking, right? Because what they were saying is, hey, we were working when there was no vaccine.
Yeah.
And we were in there and nobody told us go home. We were essential workers. I get it. But there wasn't a vaccine available. You actually just said, in your reasoning, you just said there was no vaccine. But there is a vaccine now. So you have to not live, especially when COVID hit. It was just ripping through communities and everything. Yeah. So you're basically in a mentality, almost like a war zone, right? Where everybody's dying around you, and you're like, hey, I survived this, so I shouldn't have to take the vaccine. I don't get it. So I get it, but I just think people need to take another step in their reasoning. You can't live all the way back there where you said, hey, there was no vaccine and I still did my work.
All right, that's the argument. Now you have a vaccine that'll help you.
Right.
Come on. That'll protect you. Come on.
But I get it.
Come on now.
I get the fighting people. I love to fight. But sometimes, when you're in the mud, scrapping away and fighting away, and the solution is 2 steps outside the mud. Step out the mud, wash yourself off, and grab the solution. But whatever.
There you go.
That was my PSA. Get vaccinated.
Welcome to Harry's TED Talk.
Get vaccinated. But I get it. I get you. That's the thing.
Harry's TED Talk.
That's the thing. But I get these people. But I still got vaccinated.
Okay.
And by the way, they're talking about the boosters. The National Health Institute came out and said that actually the boosters are going to be basically interswappable, right? So you could actually, even if you had Pfizer, you could take a Moderna.
Okay.
And so on.
I figured they were going to try to do something like that.
Yeah.
I think I kind of want to stick to what I had. Like I had the Pfizer. I'm just going to find the Pfizer booster. Be like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make a big deal. Like, I'm not gonna be crazy about it, Harry. Just saying.
I mean, there was a movement where people were getting all three anyway. So
I know.
and they're testing that, right? They're like,
and I've heard crazy people, Harry. I stood in lines and heard crazy people say,
yeah, it's like okay, you got all three.
That's team too much. Sometimes it's team too much.
And if you got all three, they're gonna go get 3 boosters.
Oh, Harry, they're gonna cover all. I mean, that's what I mean. There'll be some people who are just like extra, and then there'll be people who won't even get out the gate.
Yeah, and the CDC should have a list of, because they like to test for everything, right? So they should have like a list on their website of crazy stuff you've tested on yourself. Hey, come into the lab so we can see how it's affected your brain.
I mean, since you already set yourself up to be a guinea pig, let us come and collect the data on it. Since you're already stupid, let's collect some information. That'll help us in what we do.
Yeah,
I mean, since you already took all the things.
That's right. If you did what we recommended you not do, come in. Let's test you.
Come in. Let's see. Let's see what's happening.
And you know what? I think what would help, I think this would vaccinate mostly everybody. I understand in the beginning when they were getting the vaccine together that they gave these companies immunity. You can't sue them. I think if now that they've been through all of this processing and testing and all of these things, I think you should remove the immunity. Because people are saying, hey, but if I get sick, I can't sue anybody. Well, since everybody's so confident in the vaccine, the companies are confident in the vaccine, the government...
No, you know why, Harry? Too many hustlers out there. Too many hustlers will show up with these fake, symptoms and will just get an attorney and say...
but that's just part of doing business in America.
That's true, but... that's just people just being hustlers.
Because
hustler, baby.
Like yesterday, somebody sent me a list of medications that the FDA has pulled off the shelves after they approved it, and I get it, and that's why I mean a lot
of medication they did that with, especially those weight loss pill things.
They've done it to a lot of
weight loss. Yeah.
They did it to certain doses of metformin, the diabetes thing. So I get it that the FDA is not 100% perfect, right?
Nothing is.
So but that's what I'm saying. So we should remove that immunity and let them. These companies have made billions and billions of dollars.
Here's the thing, Harry. Even with immunity, you can still sue. So the immunity really doesn't. I mean, you could sue anybody. You could sue a ham sandwich. Now will it get far? No, but you could still sue. I mean, nothing prevents you from suing.
Right. But
I don't think suing is. I don't think the majority of people feel like they're gonna get sick. Well, maybe they do. Maybe they do feel like.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I really think they think it's the mark of the beast. Like, I hear a lot of that.
Nah, I hear a lot of it too. And by the way,
I don't understand that part, but
I had this conversation yesterday.
I said, well, why don't you just go to church? Well, have your vaccination done at your church. That way your minister could pour some water over you, some oil.
No. But I was speaking to somebody yesterday who had really good points, and I love it because I remember being that I was going to say naive, but I don't mean naive. I mean, when you're into church, when you're like a super Christian and you want to follow everything in the Bible, and I don't want to call it naive.
You want to be a literal Christian. I want to behead people.
But and they were making some good points because they were saying, hey, look, if they're telling me I'm not going to be able to work without my vaccine, That's what they said about the mark of the beast. You're not going to be able to buy anything. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be. I get it. You're associating. I mean, it's actually really easy to do. I could relate and associate with anything. I could just grab a subject and I could do it. And when you're a super Christian like that, and super Christian meaning that your mind's a little warped by the religion, you will grab onto this and associate it with being the mark of the beast and saying, oh, look, there's so many things in common. It's easy to do that with almost anything.
Oh yeah, Harry.
So
if you go in a store and see abnormal tomatoes, or what you think is abnormal tomatoes, that's the mark of the beast.
See, it all depends with me, right? You have the what is it, the grass fed chickens, or whatever, the farm rate and then you have the steroids chicken, right? The steroid chickens. When you go into a store and you see the steroid chicken is about 3 pounds more for the same price, 3 pounds of chicken.
Oof.
And you're like, I'm taking the steroid chicken. I'm gonna get more meat out of this chicken.
And all the steroids in it.
That's right. That's right. So I might turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And all the animal byproducts it fed it, because chickens are vegan.
You have to, and this is what I mean. You could associate anything with anything. So I go, okay, it has steroids, but Arnold Schwarzenegger took steroids when he won Mr. Olympia, right? Yeah. So maybe, if I eat a little steroid, I could turn to Arnold Schwarzenegger. See, I could associate any dumb thing with. I'm not calling nobody dumb.
No, I do that. Harry doesn't do that.
I'm not doing that, but I'm saying don't do that to yourself.
If you think that, but okay.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Don't do that to yourself. Actually, try to sit with a clear mind and fact-base your decisions, especially when it comes to your health. Just fact-base them. I don't know why I'm still in this PSA, but we're stuck in this PSA. We need to move on. Okay. Move on from it.
Let's move on. Are we playing the PSA? Is it running? Paul in Texas.
No. We are the PSA.
It? Okay. Okay. So we say all this to say, get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated. And you're listening to LoveBabz Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, streaming live from downtown New Haven.
Living color.
From downtown New Haven.
Well,
I actually drove in the traffic today.
I'm on Ivy Street.
She's in New Haven too.
Ivy on Ivy.
That's right.
New Haven. Ivy on Ivy.
I'm really in New Haven. I drove through all the traffic.
I know, and it was a lot because there was an accident sometime this morning, I think.
Yeah.
Another tractor trailer.
There were 2 tractor trailers, and I always think to myself, because it wasn't just tractor trailers. There were a lot of cars on the side today. And I always think to myself, oh my God, my snow tires. I think, oh my God, why did it get slippery out there?
Okay, Harry, you crack me up with this tire stuff.
I'm going to buy it.
No, you're not. If you're going to buy, you got to do it today, Harry, because they done told you.
The problem is, it's like going to the doctor. You have to make an appointment. You have to bring your car in, and then you have to sit there for about an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
That's like going and getting your teeth pulled at the dentist.
All right.
So
you're right about that.
All of that, you
can't make an appointment?
Oh, yeah. Now you have to make an appointment.
Yeah, you have to make an appointment, right?
Yeah,
everything
requires
an appointment.
You got to make an appointment. They got to make sure the wheels are in stock, and then when I went to buy the wheels, I went in, and because I actually chose, like, if you go online to Town Fair Tire online, you actually save money if you buy it online and then go in and schedule your appointment. But then when I went in, they said the tires weren't available. Again, I'm not waiting till August to get snow tires for this winter. You know? I need the tires now. And then my big thing is, once you mess up on me, yeah, I skip it. I'm like, yeah, so I'm not going. I'll get my tires when I get my tires. So I'll go to another store. I start making excuses for not getting it. But
listen, Portland got 27 inches of snow. I mean, Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon.
Somewhere in Oregon. They're getting bombarded. I hope that is not. I'm paying attention to what's happening in West Harry, because I do not want that to be our experience in the East, in the Northeast.
We live in New England, so who knows?
I'm not going with that.
Who knows? But
I don't want that to be my experience.
You know, I was actually listening to one of the radio stations in the area that was snowing, because one of my conspiracy radio, shows that I listen to is up there. And oh my God, it sounded like the world is ending, and they were associating it with not just climate change, but
the vaccination.
No, they were associating it with space and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, it's just snowing. It's like, what? We don't got to make a conspiracy about everything. It's snowing.
So some years you get more snow than others.
Sometimes you do it. Some years you get more than you got last year.
Yeah, sometimes you get less. Like next year you probably get hardly any snow.
It's like, the
that's
way.
What I mean, I don't have the energy to be that sort of conspiracy.
It's like the way the moon is wobbling is causing and I'm like, you just got a lot of snow. Relax. Not that serious. I hope it's not that serious. If the guy is right, then it's the end of the world.
Well, I don't know. They keep running these Greyhound shuttles to space. That might have to affect the atmosphere on some level. I would imagine. Everything is connected, Harry. So what we seemingly think is not connected or has no effect has a great deal of effect. So maybe a little conspiracy theorist might be onto something.
That's true, because I'm looking at. I was listening to the guy, and I'm like, this guy's just bananas. And I'm sure that's what they thought of the UFOs 40 years ago, and now they're going, hey, yeah,
right, because more people are really on that UFO bandwagon.
Yeah. So I mean, and then you saw Captain Kirk yesterday when he got off.
Yeah, we saw him, William Shatner. I didn't realize he was 90. I thought they were joking.
No, he's
really 90 years old.
He was so emotional.
He was, Harry. I was like, he was crying. I was like, I mean, I guess, whatever.
I was like, this is the best acting he's done in 30 years. So, and Karen's like, no, he's crying for real. I'm like,
they're like, be our guest. How do you know? How do you know?
I know he's an actor.
Be our guest. Be our guest. Be our guest. I don't think we're gonna get invited to be a guest, Harry. We talk too much stuff about Jeff Bezos, and I hear he's petty, so we never gonna get invited. You might do better because you kind of worship Elon Musk, so we might have a better chance with Elon Musk, or Branson. We might have a good chance with Branson too.
I don't know. That guy seems. I was just gonna say he seems weird, but they're all weird.
Yeah, they're all weird.
Yeah.
Although, if I had to pick one of the three, I like Branson. If I had to pick one of the 3 billionaires to want to be friends with and align myself with, he seems the most sane. Like Elon Musk is creepy to me. He looks creepy. He seems creepy.
But you see,
Bezos is just an all-out asshole.
Yeah, he is. But you see Branson in interviews
on a regular basis.
But Branson's interviews, he seems weird. He's like too happy. He's like on something.
Now, see, I like him. That's what I like about him. Like he genuinely enjoys his life. I like that. I like people who enjoy their money. Because if I had that kind of money, Harry, I'd be enjoying my life too.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't be worried about a damn thing. I'd just be like, somebody suing me? I got attorneys for that. somebody got beef with me, I got somebody for that. Right now, what I'm gonna do, you know, he hangs out with Bishop Tutu. You can't be all bad if you're hanging out with Bishop Tutu. Seriously.
Well, the thing is that you're right. He's kind of, well, he's too happy for me. I can't be around people who are smiling all the time.
What are you talking about, Harry? You hang out with me all the time. Well, on air.
On air. Right. So, and then you have Bezos, who does come off as an a-hole, right?
He's an asshole.
Then you have Elon Musk.
After a while, you're gonna want to smack him out of the room, because you know he's just. Ugh.
That right. Then you have Elon Musk, who's pondering. You know
I like his mother.
The end of the world. Elon Musk is always pondering.
See, I don't guys like that. They get on my nerves because they, you know, I just like shut up. The world's not ending. Okay, the world is ending. What are you gonna do? Are you giving away all your money? No, you're not doing that.
There's a reason why he wants to colonize Mars.
Yeah, and I'm sure these fools will find a planet to do it on. They're probably using Mars in our face, but found a planet that they could do.
Yeah. One of the moons or something off of it.
Yeah, didn't we just find out one of the planets looks like it could be inhabited? Yeah,
well, they keep finding Goldilocks planets. So
eventually, Harry, we're gonna find, or maybe we are missing what is in front of us in terms of what life looks like on other planets. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't know. All right. Well, we got guests at 10:15, so we have to get set up.
Yeah, we have to.
And Ruby Melton likes our alien conversation, Harry. She likes our extraterrestrial conversation. She is one of us. I'm telling you, Harry, our numbers are growing. We need a Facebook page.
All right, we'll be back. You're listening to LoveBabz Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. You know, in the studio I have three mouse pads here.
Because you are just an overachiever. I tell you what, Harry, NPR, they don't have this kind of fun. I'm just telling you.
No. First you got to remove the stick, and then you could giggle a little. No.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay. So we're going to take a break.
We'll be back
because we're going to start a whole new thread, and we'll be back with guests to talk about Next Haven. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
If you're on the radio, don't go nowhere. Don't change the dial. Music will be back. If you're on Facebook, look for the other link. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Just keep